Hartmann here on the news. You need to know this. Education, education, education. This week, schools are public issue number one, as teachers, students, and parents are holding demonstrations from New York to California to protest cuts to education budgets. In what they're calling a week-long state of emergency, the California Teachers Association is holding a sit-in at their state capitol in response to Governor Jerry Brown's proposed $7 billion cut to education. In the last 3 years, his state has seen its education budget whittled down by $20 billion and more than 30,000 teachers laid off. Now the teachers union is saying enough is enough. Also, inspired by activist teachers in Wisconsin, New York City teachers are holding a march this week in opposition to Mayor Bloomberg's proposed cuts to education that will lay off thousands of educators there. Tens of thousands of people are expected to join the march from City Hall to Wall Street to demand that banksters, not teachers, pay for what they did to the economy. As our morality decayed so much in this country that we rejoice banksters on Wall Street making hundreds of millions in bonuses, yet yell and scream about teachers earning a meager $50,000? Internet users are screwed. The days of unlimited internet access are over. 56% of internet plans in America now cap just how much information can be accessed on the web. Telecom giant AT&T recently introduced caps on their DSL customers, charging them fees for any new data received over 150 gigs. Internet advocacy groups have now written a letter to the FCC in response to this new policy of capping. It was the FCC that allowed caps in the first place as part of the recently passed net neutrality regulations. The letter reads, these caps perniciously undermine each of the goals set out by the Commission in the National Broadband Plan, stifling the competition and innovation that has established itself in the Internet economy. It was only a matter of time before big transnational corporations turned the people's Internet into their own private piggy bank. In the best of the rest of the news, killing Osama bin Laden, check. Creating nearly 250,000 jobs last month, check. What's next on President Obama's agenda? Immigration reform. Today, the president is in El Paso, Texas, to deliver a major policy speech on immigration and to encourage Congress to get to work drafting immigration reform legislation. So far, this president has done more than any other president in recent memory to secure the southern border, yet has received the harshest criticism from right-wingers like Arizona Governor Jan Brewer, whose only ideas in regard to immigration reform are to deport everyone. Let's hope the president can get his message across of compassion and comprehensive immigration reform, although he'll have to take on the hundreds of Spanish radio stations the right-wing billionaires have already created in America to target Hispanic voters in 2012, feeding them lies about Democrats. Once again, NATO airstrikes in Libya have targeted the home of Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. Last night, the capital city of Tripoli was rocked by several explosions, including one hitting Gaddafi's compound. President Obama has repeatedly said this operation is not about regime change in Libya, but with bombs coming closer and closer to killing the Libyan leader, it's starting to look like that's exactly what it's all about. Very quietly, some of the most powerful Western nations in the world are on the verge of taking out the sovereign leader of an oil-rich Arab nation. And the consequences of such action could be far-reaching. The corporate Whirlpool Dodger of the Week award goes to Whirlpool. Despite over $18 billion in sales last year, Whirlpool paid no U.S. income taxes and, in fact, got a tax refund courtesy of you and me, the taxpayers. In fact, Whirlpool hasn't paid any taxes in the last 3 years and altogether has received over $60 million in tax rebates from you and me. I guess Republicans finally have what they want in corporate tax policy, a tax rate of below zero, a negative tax rate. It's time to end corporate welfare as we know it in America. While Republicans are blaming President Obama for high gas prices, the American people are pointing their fingers elsewhere at big oil and Wall Street. According to a new CNN poll, 89% of Americans blame big oil for high prices at the pump. And in another question, 90% of Americans say Wall Street speculators are driving up prices. And these numbers are steady across the board, no matter what political party the respondent belongs to, Democratic, Republican, or Independent, except when it comes to the Tea Party. Then only 40% blame big oil and Wall Street. It's about what you'd expect from a politically naive movement funded nearly exclusively by millionaires and billionaires in the oil industry and from Wall Street. It looks like industry misinformation is working, but fortunately for the rest of us, it's only working to further diminish the Tea Party. Here's news you don't hear often. The Koch brothers lost a court case yesterday. A Kansas judge tossed out a lawsuit by the Koch brothers against an environmental group that pranked the billionaires last year by issuing a fake press release reading that Koch Industries will invest in clean energy. The judge said the environmental group, identified as Youth for Climate Change, was well within its First Amendment rights of free political speech with the prank. It's pretty clear that what the billionaire brothers are trying to do in this case, with the newfound rights of political speech thanks to Citizens United last year, Koch Industries is trying to silence their critics. Luckily, there was one judge in Kansas they hadn't bought off. Crazy alert, are you really that thirsty? A company called Bling H2O is selling bottles of water that cost $2,600 each. And no, this water is not coming from the rarest glaciers in the world. It's actually the same bottled water that's already sold in Cracker Barrel restaurants for $2.49. But they justify the price by putting it in a package that is a crystal-studded bottle. As the founder of the company says, I'm not just selling water, it's a lifestyle. Right, a lifestyle for the rich and famous and the financially naive. And that's the way it is today, Tuesday, May 10th, 2011. I'm Thom Hartmann on the news.